Hi YouTube! Venomsamurai here again, and a happy Halloween to everybody involved. This is my favorite holiday of the year, as you probably guessed. So, that in mind, let's talk about Halloween and all the great things that it is all about. First off, let's clarify. Halloween is not a satanic holiday. Yes, I know all the Bible thumpers out there are waiting to say, "Oh, but Satanists use it to perform their black masses." Those people are idiots, first off. Secondly, Satanists are idiots. I'm going to say that. I don't care if the Satanists who look at this video, quote-unquote Satanists who look at this video, don't like what I'm about to say, but you're idiots. Performing a black mass on Halloween has no significance whatsoever. Now, if you're a pagan, however, and you are celebrating the ancient festival of Samhain, let me give you a thumbs up. Let me clarify first, though. I am a Christo-pagan. There's a difference. I believe in the beliefs of Christianity and paganism. I believe in all the stuff that Christianity teaches, but I also believe in a lot of what paganism teaches too. So, that being said, let's move on to the great things about Halloween. First off is the atmosphere. If you like spooky stuff like I do, then Halloween is your Christmas. It is your favorite holiday of the year. Mainly because this is the time of the year when we can feel more connected to the spirits of those who've passed on in the past year, and even some that have passed on before. That's really what it's all about. It's all about connecting with the spirits. And hey, what better time to do that than a day honoring the dead? Now, for those of you who live down south of the border, you have another day that you celebrate known as Dia de los Muertos, or commonly known as the Day of the Dead. This is the day of remembrance for these folks, where they build shrines to their loved ones and they leave them gifts so that they can pass on and feel that they are remembered. Here in North America, we are actually responsible for a lot of Halloween traditions, and a lot of people don't know that. For example, did you know that the original Halloween jack-o'-lanterns were not carved out of pumpkins? It's true. The original Halloween jack-o'-lanterns were carved out of turnips. Turnips? Yes, because in the ancient Irish land, and Ireland, they didn't have pumpkins. They didn't have big empty gourds like we have here in the U.S. No, they had mainly the dense turnips and potatoes and things of that nature. So they would carve their jack-o'-lanterns out of that and put a small candle in them, basically as a guiding light for the spirits, so that they would be able to find their way in the dark. And for other people as well, who might be lost on such a hallowed evening. Trick-or-treating? Also, the modern version of trick-or-treating is a U.S. invention. However, the original version of trick-or-treating goes back to the ancient Irish traditions, when troublemakers would go from house to house begging for what were known as spirit cakes. If they were given a spirit cake, they would tip their hat and move on. If they were not given a spirit cake, then that house was marked for mischief, which meant that they would break windows, they would smash in doors. Sometimes they'd even go a lot farther. But then that goes to the evil side of Halloween, and we don't want to talk about the evil side of Halloween today. We want to talk about the good things about Halloween. Thirdly is Halloween parties. this is more of an invention of the 1950s than anything, because people began to get scared of sending their kids out to go trick-or-treating, which we are starting to see a bit of a resurgence in that now, because people don't trust each other to go about their business of letting the kids go to doors, trick-or-treat, and get safe candy. There's always those bad apples out there who have to ruin it for everybody. As many of you have seen in the news recently, there have been people who have been known to stick razor blades and broken needles and all sorts of nasty stuff in the candy and reseal it like it's fresh candy, been fine forever. Don't just take the word of the person you're getting the candy from. Open that candy up, cut it in half, break it in half, what have you. We all want to have a safe Halloween. And Halloween's my favorite holiday. I actually love this holiday so much that every year I go do what I call reverse trick-or-treating. Now, I'm 31 years old. Yeah, I know. 31 years old, I can't really go out trick-or-treating because at that point you going out trick-or-treating is just creepy. Especially since I have no children. So I go and I do what I call reverse trick-or-treating. And this is something that I would actually like to see more adults do. This is where I go and I appreciate the people that I work with on a daily basis and people I've worked with in the past as well. I go to their places of business dressed up, and instead of receiving candy, I hand out candy to these people. And I hand it out to the people that work there because it'd be kind of creepy just some random guy walking up and offering your kids candy. But if you go around to the places that you work, and let them know that you're going to do this ahead of time, folks. If you do this, do that, so that you can learn their rules and how they would like you to perform. I did that because usually I would be wearing one of my masks, as you guys have seen in my previous videos. But this year I checked. They said I couldn't wear my mask, but I showed them a picture of my face painted up, and they said, hey, that works. You can do that. And I actually got a lot of positive reactions out of it. So, let's try and get this to become a Halloween tradition as well. Reverse trick-or-treating. Going out and appreciating the people who have to work on this very fun holiday. And that's what it is. It's a fun holiday. Now, on to my final point. Something that I do every year is I post the safety rules of Halloween. Rule number 1. Parents. Any parents who see this video, if you have little kids that are going out trick-or-treating, stay with them. I know you want to just send them up to the door and you want to have them come back to the car and all that, but don't do that because it's actually a lot safer for you to just walk with them and to stay with them as they trick-or-treat. 2 things will come from that. 1, the kids will be safe. 2, this will build memories for them. Something that they can enjoy for years to come. They can look back fondly on, I'll remember that year that Mom took me trick-or-treating for the rest of my life. Rule number 2, always. I'm going to underscore this, put it in caps, and bold it just so you guys can understand. Always check the candy. Like I said, we've got some bad apples out there this year. Check all the candy, fruit, boxes of raisins, anything that your kids get. Because, let me tell you something, there's some bad people out there, and they will do bad things to little kids just because they can. There was actually a study done that you pass by a psychopath every day of your life. You will pass by at least one in 3 people that you pass as a psychopath. So, always check your candy. But, at the same time, make sure that the kids feel included in it. Make sure they understand why you're checking the candy. Don't just pull the candy from them and say, here, let me see that real quick. Open it all up. Each time you check a piece, and if it comes out okay, hand it to the kid and say, okay, there you go, have at it. Because that's what kids like to do. They like to feel included. So include them. Make them feel like they're important. Because when you do that, you're building memories that your kids will hang on to for years to come. And you're instilling in them the best practices to enjoy a safe Halloween. Now for the older crowd. I have 2 rules. Each one is gender specific. Rule number 3. This goes to the ladies. Ladies, a lot of you are going to go out drinking tonight. Some of you are going to go to parties and drink tonight. Rule is, if you have a drink, you keep track of it. You set that drink down, you walk away from it, you come back to it, you pour it out, and you get a fresh one. Halloween is also the time of the year when the most sexual assaults tend to happen. Because guys take it upon themselves to enhance the punch, enhance the drinks of parties. Ladies, just be safe out there. Be sure that you check your drinks. Make sure that you watch it get made. Make sure that you watch it get mixed. And make sure that you know exactly what you ordered. If a guy sends you a drink, tonight is the main night to politely refuse. Don't disagree with the fact that the guy bought you a drink, but don't necessarily be all jumped up and happy that he gave you one. Always have it checked, and always make sure that you see it get mixed. Rule number 4. This is for you guys. Scantily clad is not an in, guys. Just because she's scantily clad doesn't mean she wants it. This is something that not only goes to Halloween, it also goes to Comic-Cons and to conventions and things of that nature. Because on Halloween and at these conventions and such, you're going to see scantily clad women. That does not mean that these women are loose. That does not mean that these women are looking for some fun. That means that these women wanted to dress sexily for that character. And on Halloween, it means they wanted to dress sexy. It's the one night of the year they can really show off their body if they want to. So, be gentlemen. Okay, guys? It's not against the guy code to be a gentleman. As a matter of fact, I consider it better when guys are gentlemen, because at least then we're showing that we can be good guys. If you see a girl who happens to be drunk, call her a cab, get her home. Because if you see her being drunk, odds are other guys in the bar have seen her drunk. And some guys are not always as noble as some of us are. So be sure you get her a cab and you get her home. Now, she may have to pay for the cab, but just make sure she has a ride home, and make sure it's somebody that gets paid to get her there. Because sending her home with one of your friends or something to that effect, send her home with one of her friends. If you got to send her home with a friend, send her home with one of her friends that she came with. If she didn't come with friends, call her a cab. Or call her an Uber or what have you. Just get her home, because if you've seen she's drunk, other guys are going to see she's drunk, and they will pounce on that like tigers on a steak. My 5th and final rule for a safe Halloween is respect each other. Don't go and disrespect other people because they're out enjoying Halloween. People don't like it when they come along and disrespect Christmas. You shouldn't go out and disrespect Halloween. All right, YouTubers, that's the Venomsamurai Halloween video. Click like and subscribe to come by and see some of my reviews, and you might actually get to see me sing. I actually have a pretty decent singing voice. I'm not the greatest singer in the world, but I am at least a decent singer. I have gotten that praise before. They are audition tapes for America's Got Talent, so if I get on America's Got Talent, if not, I'll try again next year. Alright, but till then, this is the Venom Samurai telling you to have a happy and safe All Hallows Eve.